Hi everyone, it's Angela from Cake Angel, and in today's 12 Trees of Christmas we're going to do something a little different and we're going to make a Christmas wreath. So to do this we're going to start with a mold, and we're actually going to make a bow for it out of our homemade fondant. I'm going to pop a link at the top so you can make your own from that. And this is a flexible mold which is really great when you want to make little decorations for your cakes, cookies and cupcakes, so that you can actually add lots of detail without having to spend a long time modeling them by hand. So the first thing we're going to do is take some of our fondant. We're going to just roll it and warm it up in our hands to make it more pliable. So this is the one we're going to use. We're going to use the smallest bow, and you don't need very much fondant when you use these types of mold. You'll actually be surprised that you need a lot less than you think. So the next thing I'm going to do is use a cornstarch puff, and I'm just going to thoroughly dust it. Now this is to stop the fondant from getting stuck inside the mold, and it also helps it come out easier. So then you're going to take your fondant, you're going to press it down into the shape. You may have extra like you can see here, and for that I'm just going to take a spatula and just cut off all the excess. And you can see you've got the shape nicely formed. Give it a press down and make sure it picks up all the details, and as you can see it's coming out really easily already. Now it does have the dust on it, and I'm going to show you how to tidy that up, but first we're going to go ahead and make a second one. I find it's always handy just to have a couple of extras on hand in case they get damaged when you're working with them, but always make sure that you re-dust the mold every time you put something in it. So the same process again, we're taking some more fondant, we're going to press it into the mold. Make sure it fills all those crevices so it picks up the full details. And then you just want to flex the mold to remove it. Now if it has got stuck, and this one is a little bit stuck, you can use a scribe tool or a toothpick just to nudge it out slightly, and then pull it out very carefully. And as you're working with fondant, if it does happen to misshapen a little bit when you're removing it, you can just push it back into place with your fingers or scribe tool. Okay, so there's our two done. That's all we're going to need for this one cupcake. We're only going to use one, but again, I like to make an extra just in case. So to remove all that excess cornstarch, I'm just going to use a dry brush and brush all of it off. Doesn't affect the flavouring of the fondant at all if you don't clean all of it off, but you just want to make it look nice and clean and brush it off. Again, always make sure your brush is dry when you do this. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and now we're going to do our cupcake. For this I'm using my regular buttercream icing. It's coloured with forest green, and I just added a little bit of the green to it so that it gives a nice pastel green. I'm going to pop a link at the top to show you how to colour icing as well if you're not familiar with that technique. Now I'm using a tip 21 for this one again, which is the same as we've used on our previous cupcake tutorials. It's a nice star tip, and this is a really simple technique. You're going to leave the centre of the cupcake bare, and we're just going to pipe stars. So you keep the tip above the surface, you squeeze and pull up, squeeze and pull. Really simple and quick design, and you could leave it like that, but we're going to add a second row just to make it a little fuller. And doesn't that come together really quickly? Perfect. I'm a really big fan of these kind of designs that are really quick. It means if you're making multiples of them, you can do them really efficiently as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add some sprinkles to this. And as I always say with sprinkles, you can add as much or as little as you like. I'm just sticking to red and white for the theme for this one. You could go for any colours at all. And then we'll get this bit sped up. So I'm just giving them a little press down to make sure they're firmly in place. Next thing I'm going to do is add our bow. We're just going to give it another brush. I notice there's still a little bit of cornstarch on there. So the fondant will take quite a while to dry, but it doesn't really matter. It's not going to dry really rock hard anyways. So it's a really nice texture to add to the cupcake. And then just give it a press down on your icing. And there you go, there's our wreath finished. And I think this is a really nice way to use tip 21 again, just to make something a little different, still Christmas tree related, as wreaths are usually made from Christmas tree branches. And I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.